Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable podcast. It is Tuesday, December the 9th. No Christmas music day, none of that crap. We're going to talk Eagles, Eagles, Eagles. And I'm going to rant. Because what a pathetic performance last night again by the Birds. They've lost three in a row. They used the San Diego slash LA Chargers last night. What a weird score, 22-19. And they were pathetic. Yep, it all goes back to Jalen Hurts played like crap. Didn't he? Four interceptions, lost one fumble. First time in the history of the NFL that one player committed two turnovers on the same play. Ridiculous. And we're going to talk about him in a minute. But you know what? It all goes back to the offensive line. If you don't have a solid offensive line, you can't run the ball. You can't pass the ball because you don't have the protection. And with this offensive coordinator who has no imagination, um, you can't get away from it. Yes, Saquon Barkley had a great game last night, and he found some holes, and he ran like the old Saquon, which is great to see. But in the end, the offensive line is still killing them. Injuries, penalties, uh, too many penalties. I mean, think about it. Jordan Malata, he's like the most solid guy on that line now. Commits a penalty down near the goal line and Hurts connected with A.J. Brown when we talk about him for a touchdown in the second half. Too many penalties. I mean, what are these guys doing? They're undisciplined and they're trying to make up for stuff. They know the offensive line. A lot of those guys in the offensive line, they're not good at it. They're there to fill it. That's why they're backups. And so they get beat all plays. They have to grab. They have to hold. They commit offensive. They commit penalties. So, all right, let's start with Jalen Hurts. Obviously, like I said, listen, a lot of open receivers hesitant throwing the ball. Why is he holding the ball so long? Why doesn't he take off running if he doesn't see anybody open? Ooh, take off and running. It's too long. By the time he waits and waits and waits, it's too late to run. And you could say, okay, he's waiting for the receiver to get open, but the receivers are open. The receivers are open, and he's not seeing. What is going on with this guy? The processing is lacking. What is he not getting? He's a veteran quarterback. He's not a rookie. Whatever these defenses are throwing him, he's not processing quick enough to make a snap decision there. And the work at Akron, I don't know what's wrong with it. Is it the point of, all right, I won the Super Bowl. I don't need to be as good as I was. I don't know. But defense is confusing him. Is he too worried about getting hit, about running here? The guy might have a lot on his mind. He knows the offensive line is weak, so he's probably thinking. He's thinking too much, and he's saying, wait a minute, I got to run this ball. The protection's breaking down. Instead of just playing football and letting it go, right? I think he's thinking too much. But that was a dreadful game last night. Four interceptions. Yeah, down at the end in overtime, they at least had a tie. You don't play for the tie, but they at least had a tie in the books there. He throws the ball away. Granted, Jesus, that pass at the end was deflected and again. But still, if you look at that play down near the 1 yard line, Dotson, he was throwing to Dotson. There were like three charging. What's he doing trying to force the ball into Dotson when you've got three Chargers there? I don't know. He's just not seeing stuff. I mean, and it Dallas Goddard had a good game, fly passes. Every time Clark passed, it was like the first down. Um, there's a lot of openings in the middle of the field. Jalen Hurts has never been good in the middle of the field. That's why he doesn't like to throw in the middle of the field. And we saw it yesterday. But we saw AJ Brown in the middle of the field. We saw Goddard in the middle of the field. Take what they're giving you. The Chargers are notorious to play zone defense. You got to find the holes in the zone. You got to take advantage of it. The Chargers don't give up big plays. So you got to take what they give you. If they're giving you 10 yards, 15 yards a pass, take it. Take it. Again, AJ Brown had a bad game yesterday. He dropped how many balls that were right in his hands, including a touchdown pass? Now, I've been defending AJ Brown for a long, long time. On here, on social media, I said the Eagles need to utilize him more. They paid him all that money. They paid draft picks to get him, use him. He's been bitching and complaining about not being targeted, not being thrown the ball. Throw him the ball. Well, last night they did. They threw him the ball and he just kept dropping it. I mean, AJ Brown, if you're going to complain about not getting the ball, you're going to move and brood on the sidelines and read books and stuff. When they do throw the ball, catch the damn ball. It's not like he had a stretch to get. A lot of these balls are right in his hands that he's dropping. I don't know the reason for it. I just think. Devontae Smith, they hardly used him last night. I mean, overall, the offensive guys had a good game. Barkley had over 100 yards rushing. Brown, even though he dropped a lot of passes, still ended up with over 100 yards receiving. But it's the turnovers that killed the turnovers. Get down into the red zone and you turn the ball over. The turnovers. Eagles committed 5 turnovers this game. You're not going to win doing it. You can march down the field, and all these guys can have great stats. But when you get down there, you're not scoring touchdowns, you're giving field goals. That's number one. And number two is that turnovers are killing. Jalen Hurts, he's just earlier in the year, hardly any interceptions. But there for a while, he had like 15 touchdown passes, 1 interception. Now all of a sudden it's a rash interceptions. Why? Is he trying to force the ball into places? Why? You can't see the defenses? He's not processing the info. Why all of a sudden is he turning into a turnover machine? The defense played good. Again, defense played great. Forced turnovers. Can't complain about the defense. He held the Chargers in check for most of the game. I mean, Ryan McConkey, the leading receiver, but he had was it 1 or 2 catches. Justin Herbert, they contained him pretty well until he broke free on a few runs. But overall, the defense played and he held the Chargers in check. And really, as I said yesterday, Chargers, if they caused the Eagles to force turnovers, that's the way they were going to win this game. I could see the Chargers starting on the 10-yard line and watching down the field against this team. Justin Herbert's a great passer. Of course, at this point, broken hand or not, I'd take Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts. But the Chargers aren't that good. Come on. They're 9-14. We're going to make the points. But are they that good? I don't think so. You got a hell of a kicker. Cameron Dicker the kicker, who used to be an Eagle. Dicker, if you remember correctly, Dicker came into fill in when Elliott won a couple of seasons ago was hurt. And Elliott came back, which is fine. They cut Dicker. Eventually went to the Chargers. He's a great good kid. Hey, I'd rather have Dicker right now than Jake Elliott. He misses a field goal again last night. Controlled atmosphere in the dome of the stadium, pulled the ball left. I don't know what's up with him either. What's these guys thinking too much? I don't know. Now you gotta think, are they collapsing just like they did in 23? Is that what's happening? Is that we're seeing the Eagles collapsing? Now we do see why it's hard to get back to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl twice, 2 times in a row, because things like this happen. Either the other teams are so up for you to play a Super Bowl chance, or maybe you are fat and sassy. Maybe you are working hard, practicing hard, but just don't have that little bit of edge, that hunger under the surface, that little bit that kind of puts you over the top. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I hope they're not collapsing. I mean, their schedule is favorable. 4 games left. Next week, 1 o'clock against the Raiders of Las Vegas. They stink. The Eagles don't blow this team out. The Eagles do have wins. The Eagles should be easily beat this team by 20 points, 36-6 or something. Then they play 2 out of 3 against Washington, who stinks. We probably are not going to have Jaden Daniels. Marcus Mariota will be quarterback. And in between, you've got a really tough game going up to Buffalo to play the Bills. Not only will it probably be cold and snowy, but you're playing a Bills team that is desperate. Desperate to get into the playoffs. A dangerous Bills team, as we saw last week when they played Cincinnati, and Josh Allen can go off. They can do anything. So the Eagles are 8-5, probably going to end up 11-6. From the way it looks at. Looks like 11-6 probably. Anybody who started the year betting the over 11.5 wins, I think that was the line. You may get screwed because the way it looks now, the Eagles might only win 11 games. If they're lucky, if they don't lose one of the Washington games. But I don't know what to say about this team. That's going to linger. Are they collapsing? Is this team going into pressure going to get to them? I don't know. There's some egos. This team is fragile. I think Hurts, A.J. Brown. I mean, Barkley seems like he's keeping it together. But some of these guys, I don't know. Yeah, a lot of you can attribute to injuries. It'd be nice to have Lane Johnson back again, hopefully for the playoffs. The defense played well now. Jalen Carter, you miss him. Of course you miss him. But I can't believe the defense. They stepped up in this time. Holding the Chargers to 22 points, including overtime, is good. But I don't know. I mean, the Cowboys are right behind us, but they're 6-1, I believe. 6-1. So technically, they're a game and a half back. Will they catch the Eagles from the division? I don't think so. The Eagles would have to lose 2 out of the next 4 games. Cowboys pretty much have to run the table. I still don't think that's going to happen. No, I don't think it's going to. I don't think so. But, Dallas is desperate too because the only way they could probably get into playoffs is win the division. And, they're going to be desperate to fix the Eagles. Luckily, the Eagles don't play the Cowboys again before the end of the year. So the Cowboys are going to have to not only win the rest of their games, but rely on some help from some other teams. And I don't think they're going to get that help. I don't think so. They may get it from Buffalo, but as far as from Washington or Las Vegas, I don't think so. So, couple other things. Eagles, Barkley was running the ball well. I think they should have ran the ball even more than they did. especially with Hurts throwing the ball around crazy like he was. Eagles get down to the 1.5 yard line, 2 yard line. Instead of using the push tush maybe 2 times, even 3 times if you want to do it. I mean, it's not how you score a touchdown, it's score the damn touchdown. Instead, they give the ball to Barkley, who runs right into the middle of the line, gets no yards, and then they commit penalty, go back 10 yards, and forget the push tush. Wait, why do you have the push tush if you're not going to use the thing? Especially near the goal line. You know teams can't stop it. So why not use it? If you get stopped the first time, use it again. You've got 4 downs, 4 friggin' downs. They use the push tush to get 1.5 yards, 2 yards. I didn't agree with that. And then the Eagles got their point toss going in overtime. And instead of taking the ball, they gave the ball to Los Angeles. You scored a touchdown, but you scored a field goal, okay? Don't forget, it's a 10-minute overtime period. You don't have forever. You don't have 15 minutes. Eagles got the ball knowing that they have to score a field goal to tie the game, at least. That's why they took it down. Pressure on you. If you don't make first down off the first down, you lose the game. The coach, Sirianni, I think, screwed up the. I think it's one thing to defer on the opening kickoff because you kick the ball back first thing in the second half. But as far as overtime is concerned, I think you have to take the ball first. You score a touchdown, give it a field goal, you put the pressure on the Chargers. Not only to score, but to get first downs. Because again, if you don't get a first down, the game is over. So I think Sirianni screwed up there. There's so many things, when you think about it, that went wrong. But again, the major things, Jalen Hurts has to play better. People are calling Tanner the key. You're not going to make a change. Number one, you got a guy on this big contract. You're going to bench him. Super Bowl MVP, you're going to bench him. Really? I don't think you could do it. I don't think Sirianni would do it. I don't think he has the guts to do to sit Hurts down and play McKee. I don't think that's going to happen. Because if that does happen and McKee plays well, you got a big quarterback controversy in your hands. Do you start the Super Bowl MVP again? Or do you start the quarterback who played well the last time he played? I don't know. It could be a question for the end of the year. If the Eagles don't do well in the playoffs, that could be an issue going into next season. I'm just saying. But I would make the change now. I think they have to fix Jalen. The concerning thing about it is this team had, 10 days to prepare for the game last night, and they still didn't fix any of the issues. Jalen Hurts was more screwed up than ever. The offensive line still wasn't good. Why not roll Jalen Hurts out of the pocket? Why let him be standing there like a lame duck? He's not going to run, so roll him out. Put this offense in motion and do something. When have we seen a reverse, some sort of a gadget plan to get this team kickstarted? The team looked up. They did not have a passion in the first half. They looked like a dead team walking. So you gotta wonder, is this team confused like 23? They don't have faith in the coach or the offensive coordinator? It seems like they're sleepwalking. Or again, is it an issue of, hey, we already won the Super Bowl. We don't have to really put it all there. We got enough to beat this team as it is. Maybe you don't, because maybe that team is playing a little bit harder because they know that they're playing the reigning Super Bowl champs. I don't know. I don't have the answer. But the coaching staff had 10 days to fix whatever problems this team had. They still have problems. They had problems scoring. They had problems, especially on offense. I, they didn't fix the problem, so you got to say, what is the coaching staff doing, right? Me, I would have changed the offensive coordinator, not only to mix it up as far as uh, the fresh noodles on the offensive side on the field, but just the players psychologically, they're saying, okay, things will be different. Right? Kevin Patilla, it seems like the players are thinking Sam Olsen, right? Again, maybe it's in their head, especially Jalen Hurts. Maybe that is one of the reasons why he's not playing up to his stage. I mean, why not try letting somebody else call the plays? I think it's too late in the season to do that now, but that ship is already sailed. That horse is already out of the barn. So I don't know. This team's got problems. Luckily, they have one of the worst teams in the National Football League coming into the week at 1 o'clock on Sunday. The Raiders stink. And if the Raiders, God forbid, beat the Eagles, or even play them tough, the Eagles really have some big problem. As it is right now, Eagles are going to make the playoffs, but are they going to go far in the playoffs? I don't know. They're going to have at least one home game because of the fact that they're win the division, hopefully. But after that, it's sort of a crapshoot. Are they going to have to play the rest of the games on the road? I don't know. There's so many teams in the NFC who look better than the most. The Rams, the Seahawks. I mean, the Packers, even though the Eagles beat the Packers come. One can even say the Bears. The Bears just became. What about the Lions? The 49ers are playing good football. Yeah. So it's going to be easy for the Eagles to get back to the Super Bowl, especially when they're playing. All right, everybody. Well, you're going to hear a lot of this for the rest of the week. Oh my God, the sports radio talk shows are going to be livid with Eagles talk because the Phillies aren't doing anything. It's the winter meetings down there in Florida. Haven't heard any news and all that yet. Yes, I'm coming. So we're waiting on the Phillies to make a move too. These you see, I'm not wearing any sports gear today other than my cap, because I'm kind of sick of these teams now. You know, uh, Phillies need to get off the schneid here too and start making some news. And God forbid the Eagles lose them. So that God forbid there will be people jumping off the liquid bridges. Oh my God. All right, everybody. Well, peace and love. Have a great day, as best of the day as you can. Stay warm. It's like 10:30 in the morning here, and it's like 17 freaking degrees out there. Meanwhile, yesterday in LA, it was 80 degrees. Lord, even I can't wait till spring. All right, everybody, hang in. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So I will be back sometime during the week and talk with Eagles as we get closer to the Las Vegas game. And let's hope the Phillies do something this week too. So everybody, peace and love. Talk to you soon. Bye.